Hey, what is going on, you guys? I am so excited because I'm going to go over another one of these videos, and I just realized it's really easy to get this started. In fact, I was able to get to this screen and have all my equipment set up in just a little over 10 minutes, so I'm super pumped because I could really easily do this. And the other thing that I'm really excited about is I just realized that I could have viewers actually just send me games that they want me to review, and then I could make more of these. And I don't know if I would charge for that. I guess at first I wouldn't charge for it, but I'm just so excited. This is going to be really fun. This is going to be a game that I won. It was a 5 minute game, and I've gotten a little bit better about how I want to do this. I've actually got multiple monitors up you can't really see, so that allows me to. I'll give you a sneak preview. This is what it's going to be, but I'm gonna hide that one so you can't see the moves, and that'll give me a chance to give you guys a chance to kind of guess what the move's going to be. Well, the game starts out with the French defense, which I play over and over again. I've seen this position maybe 1,000, like 5,000 times. It's really, really common. And if that's too fast, really don't worry. It's simple. All we did was just develop pieces. These guys got out towards the center. These guys did the same thing, and I played f6. I get excited when my opponent makes the move bishop g5 here, because really they don't understand that when I go pawn to f6, I'm going to go pawn g5 later and push this bishop back even further. And then I can castle on the queen side and then win the whole game, and it's over for them because I'm going to do a pawn shield along the king side here. And then I was super surprised. So, okay, I've only used 4 seconds, right? And he castles. Look what just happened there. Okay, I'm gonna back up. Oh, I'm gonna show you one more move. Hold on. I go here. Okay, what's going on here? So let's make sense of this. I attacked his bishop, thinking for sure this bishop would back up to right here on bishop to h4. I was so sure of this that I did something called a pre-move, where after I played right here, without knowing what his move was going to be, I moved my knight to this square because I just figured the bishop was going to come back either here or here. In either case, this is still the move I'm going to play. But my opponent intentionally sacrificed his bishop. In 5,000 times of playing this position, I don't think anybody's ever tried to sacrifice it. And that's why this video, I'm going to call it, is beating a dubious sacrifice. The opponent could certainly win. I mean, there was plenty of chances for that to happen. And I messed up too, so I wanted to kind of outline what happened here. Well, after pawn to f6, castles, I go knight right here. I was blown away that he castled, and then he gave it up one more time. He went c3, encouraging me. He says, please take my bishop. And now I go, of course I'm going to take your bishop. I spent nearly 20 seconds on that. I don't know why I thought I had to take that long. Well, I mean, I'd just been extra careful because I thought maybe the next move it might matter a little bit more. How long did he spend thinking about that? He only spent 4 seconds and he decided, nope, I'm definitely going to give you that bishop. Well, I take, and after taking right there, knight takes back. Now you got to make a move. All right, so the knight has gone into g5, and I've got 3 pieces developed, right? Good control of the center, but the big problem, of course, is my king. So what would you do in this position? I actually got the wrong move at first. And in fact, I needed to go back over it with the computer and get a hint to figure it out. It really, really took me a long time to figure it out. And then I showed this game to a student of mine last week, and he guessed the move right away. It was unbelievable. So maybe you can get it too. So black to move. What is the right move? All right, and now I'm going to show you the answer. So if you haven't already, pause and sort of take a guess. Okay, so the right answer is bishop to f4. Okay, so this move here is going to win. Oh, I know. I have to show you the answers now. Oh, that's right. See, I can't show you the time and the sub-variations. Oh, that's too bad. For this one, I guess I'm just going to leave it like that. It's pretty interesting. Stick with me. After bishop to f4, basically kicking out this knight is what's going to be the most important thing to do in this position, because now with the knight out of the way, I can castle more easily. I'm just talking out of my you know what. So hold on, I got to show you the actual line. So at this point, after takes, see, I did a little bit of homework beforehand. I already edited this, and chess.com is cool because it saves it. Well, I play bishop to f5. The right move, though, is to go bishop to f4. Now, why is that the case? All right, I'm so excited about this. Where do I start? Okay, so first off, bishop to f5 is the move I'm used to playing because commonly the white player will sacrifice like a bishop on h7, and then the way to shut that down really fast is to go bishop to f5, gaining control over the light squares and he's toast. But he didn't give me his light bishop. What did he give me? He gave me his dark square bishop. So it's actually the dark squares that are important here, and bishop f5 kind of blows it. It says that's a mistake. I really didn't even consider bishop f4 at all. And what exactly is the point of this? I mean, like, if, for example, what if I just go like knight g6, right? Well, if I go knight g6, then queen to h5, let's say I go like right here, trying to kind of clog up the squares around the king side. Here's one of the big crushing moves, f4. So as weird as it sounds, I'm actually blocking the move f4 by putting my bishop on that square. Super weird idea that I just totally did not think of, but it's just crucial to have this guy out of the way. If I play bishop to f4, now the queen checks. Now I go g6, right? And I could probably still play knight right here, can't I? Oh, no, I definitely can't. Oh yeah, no, if I went right here, I'd be toast. Look at this, I'd get destroyed. What was I thinking? If I here, then takes, pawn takes, queen takes. Yikes, this is falling apart. Only moves like either here or here. If I go here, I get checkmated immediately, like so. If I go up this way, things are looking very, very bad after queen takes g7 check. I'm going to get mated really soon. I'm down 18 pawns. Well, that's not good. Okay, so obviously I don't want to go there. This is why I call this video beating a dubious sacrifice, because it's not easy. It's not easy. You have to really be careful and persistent and deliberate about each of your moves. Well, after here, then g6, then the queen can go to h6, and then I go rook to f8. And this is going to shut down the attack, because there's just not much more that white can do to persist here. The interesting thing, look, the knight can't take this seemingly free pawn because it's pinned. This bishop. See how useful this guy is? Kind of neat, right? And then the queen can't take here because of what? The bishop. It's guarding. It's attacking g5, so the queen is forced to defend there still. So it's a very weird way to defend it. I was really surprised. Bishop f4. Can you believe that? Okay. Well, I would very much like to go through the rest of the game without you being able to see the answers, and also it'd be cool if you could see the time on the clock. So I'm going to actually go back to that. Okay, so we have this one here. Yay, okay, this is going to work out okay. All right, after bishop to f5, I'm still doing fine. I'm still doing fine right here. I'm up 1 pawn worth. Now, in material on the board, I'm ahead by 2 points, remember, because he's given up a piece for this pawn here. But I've got to defend against this attack. If I can defend the attack, then I win. I love defending in chess. Well, after right here check, I got to move the king somewhere. I'm going to try to make this lesson a little bit shorter and also get to a pretty exciting part later. So I'm going to skim over this a little bit. I go king right here. There was the option of going knight back like this, but king d7 is actually the best. After king d7, knight to f7. All right, I've just allowed for this fork to happen, right? A fork's when one piece attacks 2 pieces, and now I got to make a move. Well, there's one move by far that is the best right here. What do you think it is? If you said queen to h4, you are right. So queen to f6 is also pretty snazzy, but really the one that wins the cake or the award or whatever is queen here. And what does this do? If you notice that it creates a threat of going queen takes h2, you are right. If we can take right here on h2, then this king is going to be forced over to f1, queen h1 check, king comes up, Queen takes g2, and he is getting roasted like a little almond. I don't know. Almond sounds good. I have roasted almonds in my cabinet. I'm going to have those later. So after right here, then I put my queen out here, but then g3. Okay, so this is a very, very tactical moment in the game. What do you think I should do here? It's okay if you don't get the right answer. It involves quite a bit of calculation, to be honest. And I only had 4 minutes, and I don't remember how long I spent on it. I don't want to show you the answer, so I won't figure it out just yet. But I didn't have that long. If this was a 2-hour game, I would have spent much longer on this move. So I know the answer because I've looked it up beforehand, but I want you to try to figure it out. And if you like some more help, here are some options. Queen to h3, knight takes g3, or bishop takes h3. Now what's interesting is that two of those are, one of those is the best, one of those is okay, and then one of them is a blunder. Which is which? This is definitely a very hard question geared towards someone who's at least about 1500. Alright, so in the game here, I go knight takes g3, which is actually the wrong answer. Queen to h3 would be the better move. Alright, now we're going to take a look. Oh, I want to see how much time I spent on that. Oh, look at me. 30 seconds or 40 seconds. In a 5-minute game, that's a pretty long time. So knight takes g3, and now I'm going to go through this one here. So knight takes g3, right? And let's look at the alternatives. See how it says it's a mistake? It's actually even right now. Well, first let's start out with the worst one. So if here he has the advantage, you notice that? Look at this here. So at this point, I'm supposed to be ahead a pawn, but if I take with my knight, it's even, and if I take with my bishop, where's the bishop? Bishop right here. Then he's ahead 2 pawns. That's worth a 3-point thing. Also, let's back up a second. Big picture, what's happening here? Well, the pawn shield is being destroyed, and the price I have to pay for it is 2 pieces. 2 pieces is worth 6 points. 3 pawns is worth 3 points. So I'm actually making a sacrifice. I'm trying to give back 3 points, and I had 2 before, so that means overall I'm going to be ahead, giving him a -1 advantage. So there's quite a bit going on here. Chess is very exciting. I get excited. After g3, then let's go through these. Okay, let's start with this one. So bishop takes g3. I said that earlier. I got sidetracked. I don't know. It's really fun looking at this. All right, after here, why does this fail? Well, it's pretty complicated. After here takes and here takes, this is the answer. The knight and the queen here are kind of clunky. If I have a bishop right here instead, it's not so bad. But it's kind of clunky. Notice I have no threat. This looks scary, but there's no threat. So that's why he can go queen to f3. And now this is not so clunky. This is a real attack. He's overprotecting his knight. He's got an attack on the square d5. And of course he has a threat to take here on g3 with it being protected. He could have taken on this turn. He could have taken right there, but I actually have an edge. In fact, if he takes right now, I think I probably have the edge, huh? Look at that. Pretty cool, right? Wow. If he doesn't take the knight, he's had 2 points. If he does take it, I'm ahead by 3 points. And this is pretty close to what I got in the game, so I'll return to this position here later. So after queen to f3, then I go, let's say, queen to h5, just to try to protect here and everything. Well, then takes, and now how are we doing on material? Well, 2 knights, 2 rooks each, and it looks like I'm ahead a pawn. Yay, things start okay. But what's the problem? What's the problem? I'm ahead a pawn, it looks like, but I'm actually doing worse. Why am I doing worse? If you said, well, I want you to figure this one out. If you haven't figured out just yet, just try again, because it's pretty doable. Knight takes rook, right? I'm going to lose my rook. And after takes right here, I take it back, sure, but I just lost 2 points, which leaves him with a nice advantage. Whoa, that was so complicated and cool. Let's go back a second. All right. Well, um, after knight takes, his best move is to take my bishop, and I was very worried about this at the time, and I was very relieved he didn't play that. He takes right there, which is a big blunder. But the reason why taking right here works is actually a very long line here. Given the pace of this, I'm gonna maybe go through it really fast. I'll go through it fast. I won't comment on it very much. Watch how the knight kind of like dances around the king and checks the king. This is what's gonna give me some trouble. Here, check, check, check. Again, I'm going fast so I can get back to it. Alternative lines here after this would be like, after this would be like if I go, oh, if the knight goes right here instead, of course this won't work because then here check, and I'm going to either win the knight or force it to go back, and then I've got some major momentum with my knight. So it's really important that this knight kind of walks through this little corn maze of squares very, very carefully. I feel like this lesson isn't going that well. I'm kind of too excited for this to make sense. But it's just, I don't know, it's very cool. After right here, then pawn takes g3, and now bishop takes. Hiya! I'm up 3 points worth. Let's go back to this simplified version here. Yay, less scary lines. Nice and simple interface. Alright, so now we're here. I've taken there, and I've got over 3 minutes on the clock. How am I doing on material? See if you can count up the difference. In this position right here, how many points is my opponent ahead in material? Now I have to count two. Wait a second. So yeah, we got 2 extra pawns and down a knight, so I'm still down 1 point. Right? Am I counting that right? Yes. Down 1 point to the extra knight, but then I'm going to be down 2 more points after takes right here. But to show for it, though, I've got this handy dandy attack on the king here, which is just going to blow him off the board. Well, after king to h1, I actually have the chance even to save my rook, so I'm going to go right here. I'm going to slide that rook out of the way. Queen, so rook over there to f8. Knight e5 check. What do you think is my best move here? Ha! You can't see the answer. You have to guess. What's my best move? If you said knight takes e5, you're right. After knight takes e5, then pawn takes e5. And what is a good move here? Hint, he's getting destroyed. It's going to be checkmate soon. The best move is actually rook to f2, but I was a scaredy cat and I didn't want to play that yet. I wanted to play c6 because I was worried about this queen taking my pawn right here and saying check. I'm going to show you what I was talking about. So if we look at this position right here, rook to f2, right? So in this position, I play here, and the thing I'm trying to figure out is what about if instead I made this move, whoops, this one right here. Okay, so let's take a look at it. I was a scaredy cat. I didn't want to play this, but it's actually totally fine because if the queen takes right here, check, I don't have that much to be worried about. I was thinking I did. I thought okay, well I'm gonna go like here, and then I'm gonna get in a world of hurt now after queen to e6 check, right? What am I doing? Yeah, right here check, here, and then look at this. Yikes! Yikes! I'm getting checkmated. I'd have to give up my queen. I'm checkmated. Though it was scary. I had reason to be scared. I was worried about what happens if queen takes right here. But what's the way out of it? So if queen takes right here, king to c8 is obviously a big blunder. What is the right way for my king to walk away unscathed? If you said it is king to e8, you are right. You are possibly good at cheating and looking at the notation over here, which I am trying diligently to avoid, but it's not possible. I didn't plan ahead enough for this to be a total secret. So king to e8, And then after this, queen to e6 check. And then right here, he doesn't have any more checks. Isn't that unbelievable? No more checks. But I have a checkmate coming. Dun, da, 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 da. Here, here, or here. I have three different ways to do checkmate. So all I can do is put a little speed bump in my way. No, save my king. And I go, ha, get out of my way, pesky queen. Now what is he going to do? Check me with this little pawn? Haha, I'm gonna go over here. Now what is he going to do? No matter what he does, I'm gonna go right there. Checkmate. Alright, well, I was a scaredy cat. I didn't want to blow it. I want to make sure that I did just fine. And c6 is okay. It's not the best move. It's not the most precise. That's all. And then after here, he probably could have just resigned. But he threw out knight to d2. Oh my gosh, how did it get down to 1 minute? Wait a second. Oh, that was the move. Look at that. Look at that. I spent the majority of my remaining time trying to decide if rook to f2 was okay. And I determined falsely that it was not okay. I couldn't quite figure it out. But I took the safe route, and sometimes the safe route is sufficient, and it's all you need. After right here, knight goes to d2. What move am I going to play? I made one move, and my opponent resigned. If you said rook to f2, you are right. I'm pretty sure that rook to f4 would also work. But after rook to f2, it's just totally crushing. As I said before, the queen's either going to come here, or here, or here. So he is toast. What's the computer say is a possibility? It says the game may have continued. After right here, then yeah, it wants to throw in a speed bump basically. Notice he's giving up his queen for free, because this way at least he can try to avoid checkmate a little longer. It just goes check and check. If you're in check, you can't do checkmate yourself. You have to get out of check first. Freezes your army a little bit. Any hoosers, that's gonna do it. So this is how to beat a dubious sacrifice. I guess to sort of recap again, basically what happened is that in this position, a very familiar position, my opponent played a very unfamiliar move, and after taking this bishop here, I had an advantage of 2 points in material, and I had to prove it by defending the attack. And doing so was a little bit tricky, and it involved some fancy footwork and some calculation. Well, if you haven't already, you should definitely get a chess.com account and play your own games. And also, I should have said this sooner. Maybe I did. It was a while ago. I forget if I already said this. But you can also submit your own games to me. If you submit your games to me, I'll review it just like this, and I'll make a little video out of it. Okay, I'll catch you next time. Later.